Foreign species, countless species, have emerged and vanished throughout Earth's history, leaving behind a complex maze of life that revolutionized the ecosystems of our planet. Among the countless extinct creatures, some have captivated our imagination due to their enormous size, while others horrify us with their frightening features, ranging from giant sea predators to gigantic millipedes. Join us as we explore 10 of these animals that could have posed a substantial threat to humans had they survived. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now, let's get started. Number 10. Deinonychus. Deinonychus, meaning terrible claw, was a dinosaur that lived during the early Cretaceous period, approximately 115 million years ago. Had this predator persisted, it could have posed a significant threat to our species for a variety of reasons. The Deinonychus was a formidable beast, reaching up to 3.5 meters in length. Its 410mm skull had formidable jaws, lined with about 70 curved, blade-like teeth. Fragmentary skull reconstructions by paleontologist John Ostrom describe it as triangular and wide, allowing it to deliver crushing bites to its prey. The Deinonychus's enormous hands, with 3 sharp claws on each front limb, enhanced its threatening appearance. The second toe of the hindfoot had a sickle-shaped claw, likely used for attacks. Although no skin impressions have been found in Deinonychus fossils, it is widely accepted that dromaeosaurs like the Deinonychus were feathered animals, which added a terrifying element to its appearance. The discovery of fossilized Deinonychus teeth, along with those of another herbivorous dinosaur, the Titanoboa, suggests a predatory interaction between the two species. Several Deinonychus skeletons, including 4 adults and 1 juvenile, were found near Titanoboa fossils in a Montana quarry. This discovery suggests that Deinonychus hunted and fed on these herbivorous dinosaurs. Additionally, recent research on juvenile Deinonychus fossils has brought forth fascinating ideas. Due to the mobility of the shoulder joints, young Deinonychus may have been able to fly, which would add a new dimension of danger and agility to their hunting skills. Deinonychus had a walking speed of about 10 kilometers per hour, according to an analysis of tracks discovered in the Gething Formation in British Columbia. Its bite force was calculated between 4,100 and 8,200 newtons, surpassing that of living carnivores such as hyenas and rivaling that of similarly sized alligators, according to biomechanical research. Geological data suggests that Deinonychus lived in floodplains or swampy environments. It is intriguing to imagine the prehistoric environments where this apex predator roamed, ambushing unsuspecting victims with lightning-fast attacks. Had the Deinonychus survived alongside humans, it would have been a strong and lethal animal. Its size, terrifying appearance, sharp claws, powerful jaws, and even flight abilities would have made it an unrelenting and effective predator, posing a tremendous threat to human existence. Fortunately, the Deinonychus is now extinct, surviving only in our imaginations and the fossil record. Number 9. Haast's eagle. An impressive species that once soared through the skies of the lush forests of New Zealand's South Island, if it hadn't gone extinct, could have made our favorite tourist spots some of the most dangerous places on the planet. This remarkable creature was Haast's eagle, an extinct species of eagle that was one of the largest known in terms of length and weight, both among birds of prey and relative to size. Haast's eagle overshadowed even the largest existing vultures, becoming a formidable predator. Females were substantially larger than males, with estimates ranging from 10 to 15 kilograms, while males ranged from 9 to 12 kilograms. Females of Haast's eagle could have weighed over 16.5 kilograms, according to comparisons with other eagles from the Australian region. Although Haast's eagle's wingspan was relatively modest for its size, reaching up to 2.6 meters and perhaps exceeding 3 meters in some cases, it still matched the wingspan of giant female eagles of other species. This modification allowed Haast's eagle to easily navigate the dense bush and forests of New Zealand. Contrary to common perception, Haast's eagle did not lose its ability to fly, but rather developed large wings to adapt to its forested habitat. Examining the remains of Haast's eagle's wings and legs, fascinating connections to existing eagles, such as the harpy eagle, the Philippine eagle, and the Steller's sea eagle, are found. As an adaptation to forest life, these current eagles, like their extinct predecessors, have shortened the relative length of their wings. Haast's eagle's talons were equivalent to those of the harpy eagle, indicating a powerful hunting ability rather than a scavenger existence. Haast's eagles had muscular legs and enormous flight muscles, allowing them to take off with a vigorous leap. Despite their size, these eagles had long and wide tails, exceeding 50 centimeters in length, to compensate for the limited area of their wings. Female specimens reached up to 4 meters in length, with a height of about 90 centimeters or possibly even taller. Representations of Haast's eagle in ancient rock paintings reveal a pale head, leading to the assumption that they had bald heads or shorter feathers on their heads compared to the rest of their bodies. However, the reasons for this are unknown. While the bald heads of vultures serve thermoregulatory functions, Haast's eagles may not have needed as much thermoregulation as tropical giant vultures, as they lived in subtropical temperate forests. Haast's eagles' eating habits were simply impressive. They used their enormous beaks to tear apart the internal organs of their prey, which included large flightless birds, such as the moa. The prey would then die from blood loss, and as other large predators were absent, a Haast's eagle could monopolize a single huge victim for several days. According to recent research, Haast's eagles used feeding strategies more comparable to those of vultures than other eagles. After a kill, they would plunge their heads into the body cavity to consume the vital organs of their prey. This modification allowed them to hunt creatures much larger than themselves, ensuring their survival in a harsh environment. However, Haast's eagle went extinct due to the extinction of its main prey. Number 8. Sarcosuchus. Sarcosuchus, a species similar to the Sarcosuchus, was a crocodile that lived in the rivers of Africa and South America during the early Cretaceous period. Its name translates to flesh-eating crocodile. This prehistoric beast, a distant relative of modern crocodiles, posed a significant threat to anyone unfortunate enough to cross its path. Imagine a steroid crocodile, as Sarcosuchus was one of the largest crocodile-like creatures in the world. Determining the size of these ancient monsters is not an easy task, but scientists developed a clever method. By measuring the skull length, from the snout to the cranial table, they could estimate the animal's total body length. They discovered that Sarcosuchus had the largest known skull, measuring 6 meters long. Using this measurement, researchers estimated that the animal's body length was between 9 to 10 meters, which is impressive. And to make matters worse, the length of its snout and belly reached 5 to 7 meters, equivalent to the length of a feared marine crocodile. With this information, they calculated that its weight was monstrous, about 8 metric tons, enough to cause nightmares even for the boldest explorers. Anyone would have been chilled to see Sarcosuchus, with its large snout, in contrast to today's narrow-snouted crocodiles, suggesting a generalist diet. Unlike its crocodilian relatives, S. imperator did not have interlocking teeth, suggesting that it hunted large terrestrial animals. Imagine it crawling through prehistoric landscapes, its powerful jaws crushing the bones of dinosaurs inhabiting the same area. A predator of this size and strength would have terrified any creature unlucky enough to cross its path. Sarcosuchus was not only immense, but also surpassed other infamous ancient crocodiles in size. It was more powerful than the Miocene Remphosuchus, the late Cretaceous Deinonychus, and even the fierce Miocene Purosaurus. It was the greatest terror of its time. Fortunately, Sarcosuchus's reign of terror ended millions of years ago, but the terrifying legacy of this massive predator serves as a reminder of the dreadful wonders that once roamed the earth. Number 7. Megalodon. Once, in the depths of our ancient ocean, a terrifying monster ruled the waters. What was its name? Megalodon, which literally means big tooth, was a giant shark that lived around 23 million years ago. If it were still present, we would never have the courage to surf. Imagine a shark so massive that even the great white shark would tremble in its fins. Estimates of the Megalodon size vary, but everyone agrees on one thing: it was gigantic. Some claim these sea monsters could grow up to an impressive 20 meters in length. Consider a creature the size of a school bus lurking beneath the surface, ready to attack at any moment. To put this into perspective, the typical length of a great white shark is only 6 meters. The Megalodon would be much larger than these small animals. The Megalodon clearly reigned as the true Leviathan of the oceans. Megalodon's teeth are the most prevalent remnants of its reign of terror. These marvelous triangular teeth were enormous, serrated, and strong, nearly 18 centimeters tall. They were the largest teeth of any known shark species, providing a terrifying reminder of the grandeur of this beast. Remember the fury of this apex predator. Can you imagine finding one of these enormous teeth and knowing that the beast they belong to could swallow you whole? The existence of 4 unique types of teeth and the terrifying jaws of Megalodon are revealed by its dental formula, which shows the presence of 4 separate types of teeth in its fearsome jaws. anterior, intermediate, lateral, and posterior. Megalodon had a jaw that could reach an impressive 2 meters in width, with more than 250 teeth distributed across 5 rows. These serrated teeth were ideal for cutting through meat and bones with ease, turning any unfortunate prey into a terrible nightmare. But the Megalodon was more than just a fearsome beast. Due to its size and teeth, it had a global distribution, with fossils found around the world. No part of the ancient oceans was safe from its wrath. Europe, Africa, America, and Australia. It inhabited latitudes ranging from subtropical to temperate, with temperatures from 1 to 24 degrees Celsius. Talk about adaptability. Megalodon's appetite was insatiable, as it lived in a variety of marine environments. Nothing was immune to its predatory prowess, from shallow coastal seas to swampy lagoons and deep sea areas. It was a wandering monster, always on the lookout for its next meal. Adult megalodons were known to prefer more distant areas from the coast, leaving shallow waters to smaller predators. Megalodon faced a changing world during its reign of terror. Starting in the Oligocene, a cooling trend resulted in the last glaciation of the poles. Geological events affected marine habitats by altering currents and precipitation. The closure of the Central American Strait and changes in the Tethys Ocean prevented the flow of nutrient-rich waters, possibly affecting Megalodon's food supply. It's interesting to consider the delicate balance of nature and how the changing world impacted it. Number 6. Megatherium. Megatherium was a genus of ground sloths that lived from the early Pliocene to the end of the Pleistocene. But don't be fooled by the name sloth, because these were not cuddly creatures. They were enormous beasts that would have represented a huge threat to humanity if they had survived during the Pleistocene. This elephant-sized giant roamed the Pampa region in southern Bolivia, weighing an incredible 4 metric tons, standing 2.1 meters tall and measuring 6 meters from head to tail. It was a massive creature. Consider the fear of encountering a monster as large as an Asian elephant, but with a dangerous posture. The skeletal structure of Megatherium was as strong as its size required. A massive pelvis and strong tail provided the creature with the stability needed to forage at heights beyond the reach of other herbivores. Megatherium supported its immense weight by standing on its powerful hind legs and using its tail as a tripod, while knocking down branches filled with the juiciest leaves with its curved claws. Due to the impediment of its strong claws, this sloth, resembling a modern anteater, walked on the sides of its feet. Although Megatherium was essentially a quadruped, its tracks showed a surprising talent for bipedal locomotion. Megatherium was a force to be reckoned with, not only because of its size, but also for other reasons. Mainly, its mobility. Its small cone-shaped mouth and prehensile lips suggest that they were picky when it came to plants and fruits. Megatherium had the smallest snout of any ground sloth and possessed the refined taste of a true connoisseur, carefully choosing its vegetation like a refined Epicurean. The lips played a significant role in this process, presumably helping to distinguish and select the most attractive food. Additionally, the fusion of key bones in Megatherium's neck made it difficult for it to protrude its tongue, implying a precise method of feeding. The teeth of this animal were remarkably hypsodont, a testament to its fibrous and tough diet. Its teeth were designed for optimal tearing efficiency, with V-shaped bite surfaces interlocked and a roughly square cross-section. Its mouth resembled a fearsome meat grinder, crushing anything unfortunate enough to be caught in its teeth. Megatherium once inhabited the ecosystems of forests and fields in South America, particularly the sparse forest regions centered in the Pampas. These species adapted to temperate, dry, or semi-arid environments and controlled their territory until their extinction around 2,000 years ago, during the Quaternary extinction event. Therefore, while we marvel at the enormous size and frightening qualities of Megatherium, we should also breathe a sigh of relief, as these monstrous sloths no longer pose a threat to human survival. Number 5. Arthropleura. Arthropleura, a genus of giant millipedes, inhabited the prehistoric depths of North America and Europe nearly 200 million years ago. These animals were the largest land invertebrates ever discovered. Thank God we escaped those dangerous times. Imagine coming across a monster measuring an impressive 2.5 meters in length. Tracks up to 50 centimeters wide were discovered, leaving a terrifying trail. But hold on to your hats, because a recently discovered fossilized exoskeleton, a remnant of that ancient terror, measures an impressive 55 centimeters in width and a terrifying 3 meters in length. This giant millipede, weighing 50 kilograms, was a force to be reckoned with. What caused Arthropleura to grow to such giant proportions? It turns out that the prehistoric environment had a higher partial pressure of oxygen, allowing these crawling creatures to grow in size. Additionally, the absence of large terrestrial vertebrate predators allowed Arthropleura to roam freely, dominating the Earth with its immense presence. Fortunately, we no longer have to deal with these enormous crustaceans. But what sets Arthropleura apart from its common millipede relatives? To start, their exoskeletons were adorned with well-developed three-lobed ridges, making it a creepy and terrifying crawler with armored tubercles and terrifying surfaces. Only a small oval plate at the front was detected. Now, let's talk about the legs. Arthropleura was thought to be like the Diplodocus, meaning it had 2 pairs of legs per segment. This ancient terror had 3 pairs of ventral plates, along with its fearsome army of legs. These plates may have even functioned as respiratory organs, ensuring that Arthropleura was always prepared for a terrifying battle. Contrary to popular belief, Arthropleura wasn't confined to coal forests, but led a more autonomous existence. Fossilized tracks have been found in open regions, and the terrifying millipedes continued to leave their marks long after the collapse of the Carboniferous tropical forests. The extinction of Arthropleura was likely linked to the drying of the equator, showing that even the most powerful species can succumb to changes in time. So we can finally be sure that these ancient horrors are no longer present. Number 4. Smilodon. The notorious saber-toothed predator. The Smilodon roamed across the Americas during the Pleistocene, which lasted from 2.5 million to 10,000 years ago. Most of its fossils have been discovered in Brazil. Before you start imagining the typical tiger, let me emphasize that the Smilodon was not related to tigers or any modern felines. Now, let's talk size, shall we? This fierce feline reached a terrifying weight of 466 kilograms and an impressive height of 120 centimeters. In other words, it was a monster among felids, a real nightmare in flesh and bone. Imagine a predator more robust than any cat you've ever encountered, with 4 limbs that would make Arnold Schwarzenegger envious. Its upper canine teeth were thin, fragile, and alarmingly long. The Smilodon's jaw displayed a cavernous mouth, perfect for precise attacks. These cats were the top predators of their time and were armed to the teeth, literally. Consider a fearsome cat holding its prey still with its powerful front limbs and delivering a bone-chilling bite. As for the Smilodon's hunting methods, scientists disagree on how it delivered the fatal blow, but one thing is certain. It was a specialist in eliminating large herbivores, such as bison and camels. It was a tenacious hunter, easily adapting to new prey. In South America, the Smilodon's ambush attacks were well complemented by forests and dense vegetation, allowing it to strike terror into the hearts of unsuspecting prey. The complexity of the Smilodon's environment becomes clear when we explore it further. Its brain showed patterns comparable to those of modern felines, indicating that it had an enhanced sense of hearing, sight, and limb coordination. However, its small eyes and less forward-facing orientation distinguished it from modern felines. The Smilodon was skilled at hiding in the deep forests. Did I mention its incredible jumping ability? That's right, this predator could leap with surgical precision, making it even more dangerous when pursuing its victim. But like every nightmare, the reign of the Smilodon came to an end when most of the megafauna of North and South America perished around 10,000 years ago. This fearsome predator met the same fate. The reason for its extinction is still unknown. Some believe that its reliance on massive prey, climate change, and competition with other species sealed its fate. The truth, however, remains obscure, allowing us to speculate on the fate of this horrifying animal. Number 3. Quetzalcoatlus. The Quetzalcoatlus was such a fearsome creature that it could have meant the end of humanity had it survived. It was a genus of pterosaurs from the Asdarchidae family that dominated North America during the late Cretaceous period. These enormous beasts were the largest flying creatures to ever grace our planet. They were a force to be reckoned with their massive wingspans and long, stiff necks. The name Quetzalcoatlus was derived from the Aztec deity, the feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl, and it certainly lived up to its name. When it was discovered in 1975, experts estimated its wingspan to be an impressive 16 meters. The giant wings of the Quetzalcoatlus allowed it to command the skies, casting terrifying shadows over the unsuspecting land below. Estimating the body mass of these massive creatures is a difficult task since no other species shares similar size or body structure. However, a recent study suggests larger weight estimates, ranging from 200 to 250 kilograms. The sheer magnitude of these numbers is enough to freeze the mind of anyone. According to skull materials, the Quetzalcoatlus had a beak sharp as a knife. Previous reconstructions used fragments of the jaw from another species, which resulted in a blunter nose. The exact shape of the crest on its skull remains unknown, adding an eerie aura of mystery to these already intimidating creatures. But what about their flying abilities? Could they soar through the sky with a terrifying grace? Mark Whitten, a daring British paleontologist, investigated claims about the lack of flight in large pterosaurs. He discovered that the Quetzalcoatlus could fly at impressive speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour, based on detailed calculations of its wingspan, body weight, and aerodynamics. Imagine a giant plummeting from the clouds at such an incredible speed. Furthermore, another researcher, Habib, proposed a maximum flying distance for these winged terrors of 13,000 to 19,000 kilometers, ensuring no one would be safe from their terrifying presence. With its immense size and magnificent wingspan, the Quetzalcoatlus certainly had a diet to match its adventures. While details about its diet are still being debated among experts, the Quetzalcoatlus likely preferred medium-sized animals. It could have eaten a variety of creatures, including fish, small reptiles, and potentially other flying animals. The Quetzalcoatlus, with its sharp beak and powerful jaws, would have been well equipped to grab and consume its unsuspecting prey, demonstrating its skill as an aerial predator in the prehistoric skies. Imagine what would have happened if the Quetzalcoatlus continued to roam the world. No one would have dared to step foot on a helicopter. Number 2. Titanoboa. This colossal snake, with its gigantic size and deadly reputation, represented an unimaginable danger to any living creature that crossed its path. This colossal predator made even the boldest anaconda seem like a garden snake. In contrast, the Titanoboa, a terrifying name, was a monster of enormous proportions. It roamed the Earth around 60 million years ago. During the Paleocene period, imagine a snake so large and incomprehensible that it would scare even the boldest herpetologists. It is estimated that the Titanoboa reached lengths of up to 10 meters and weighed 2,500 pounds. Here lies the terror of a snake capable of surpassing a school bus and easily coiling around a mammoth. We can't help but shudder at the thought of this ancient snake, its shining scales the color of dusk, which added to its terrifying presence. The sight of its sinuous form, moving with captivating grace, would freeze any observer's spine. It possessed a strength beyond the natural world, a diabolical grace that concealed its lethal purpose. The Titanoboa thrived in the hot and humid jungles of the Paleocene. Its habitat, now the region of Carachon, Colombia, was a safe haven for this enormous snake. The area was covered by dense tropical forests with a wide variety of flora and fauna. The Titanoboa flourished in an ecosystem characterized by towering trees, lush vegetation, and vast water systems. Fish, turtles, and other reptiles were abundant in the swamps and rivers. The Titanoboa reigned as the apex predator among the lush vegetation and murky waterways, terrifyingly dominating its prehistoric domain. The distinct features of the Titanoboa set it apart from any other snake that has slithered through the annals of time. Its colossal size attests to its dominance in the primordial realm. It was the largest snake that ever existed, surpassing its modern counterparts. The mere prospect of encountering this terrifying beast in the wild causes nightmares. The Titanoboa had a voracious appetite as well as a distinctive palate. Researchers believe that this slithering creature became a predator after adapting to a diet of fish. Its head exhibited adaptations such as specialized dental morphology and the shape of the palate. The Titanoboa had a large banquet of aquatic food to feed on, thanks to the vast river networks of its habitat and the abundance of fossilized fish. One might wonder how a monster like this could have represented a threat to humanity had it survived to the present day. Consider a world where the Titanoboa slithered stealthily through dense forests, seeking its prey with planned precision. Humans, fragile and defenseless, would be powerless against this ancient monster. Its appetite was limitless, and its hunger would drive it to seek larger and more challenging prey. But do not worry, the Titanoboa has long since slithered into extinction. The passage of time and the evolution of our planet have erased its existence from the fabric of Earth. We can take comfort in the idea that we will never face this terror in our daily lives. Number 1. Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus stood out as a serious threat in the dangerous world of prehistoric predators. This dinosaur, whose name literally translates to spine lizard, lived in North Africa during the late Cretaceous period, almost 99 million years ago. Had it survived, humanity would have been in great danger from this horrible beast. Imagine seeing a Spinosaurus growing up to 15 meters in length. Its immense size alone would send chills down your spine. Recent research suggests it could have weighed about 8 metric tons. Still, a creature of such size would surely terrify anyone unlucky enough to encounter it. The Spinosaurus had a small snout and straight cone-shaped teeth without serrations. It had 6 or 7 teeth in the front of its upper jaw, followed by 12 prominent teeth in the lower jaw. This unusual configuration created a gap between the front teeth and the huge teeth in the lower jaw, enabling a terrifying bite. The tip of its snout was extended and a small crest was added in front of the eyes. Estimates of the length of its skull range from 1.7 to 1.5 meters, but it wasn't just its head that was scary. The Spinosaurus had a long, strong neck that curved into an attractive S shape. Its shoulders were broad, and its enormous forelimbs were extremely powerful, with 3 claws on each hand. The first finger, or thumb, was particularly strong. Its back was also adorned with unusually long neural spines, which served as the base for its distinctive sail. The diameter of these spines was more than 10 times larger than the vertebral bodies from which they extended. Scientists still debate the role of the Spinosaurus's sail. Some believe it served for thermoregulation, while others suggest its function was display, making the beast even larger and more intimidating. Whatever its purpose, the sail contributed to the terrifying appearance of the creature. One of the most notable aspects of the Spinosaurus is its eating habits. Its elongated jaws, cone-shaped teeth, and elevated nostrils suggest it may have been a fish eater. This idea is supported by the presence of fish scales found in the rib cages of other similar spinosaurids. However, evidence indicates that the Spinosaurus was a versatile predator, capable of hunting and scavenging when necessary. It may have been a generalist predator, similar to large brown bears, with a preference for fishing. There are also indications that it hunted pterosaurs, the flying reptiles of the time, as evidenced by a tooth found embedded in a pterosaur bone. We all know the T-Rex, a fearsome predator. It was one of the largest dinosaurs, measuring 12.3 meters in length and weighing up to 9 tons. However, its size pales in comparison to the colossal Spinosaurus, a true prehistoric monster. With its impressive length and weight, the Spinosaurus earned the title of the largest known carnivorous dinosaur, casting an intimidating shadow over its cousin, the T-Rex. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Don't forget to check out other interesting content appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.